Hello traders, welcome to another video. It's that time of the week again. Look at the dollar as expected. Dollar is rising, dollar is strengthening again, dollar is strengthening, and we see that continued dollar strength as expected. Before we get into the charts, into the deep dive of what's happening and where the high probability opportunities are next, my name is Dima. This is the technical Thursday market analysis. And as always, let's go through the charts that we've got for this week as a short list. First, the economic calendar. Here is the week. We have had the pound news, the euro news, dollar news. Wednesday we had Aussie news, CAD news, and Thursday 26 we have got the big euro news coming up. We have got dollar news as well, and again dollar and euro news dominating the day for today, and then tomorrow bear in mind the dollar news again and then New Zealand, then small one on the yen there. As expected, we are biased to the dollar, and let's have a look at the charts with that in mind. All right, let's begin, or I should say let's continue as we did from a couple of days ago. We had this expected reversal point and marked out the break higher, which we indeed had on the dollar, and the dollar is continuing its strength, which looks like it's now coming up and heading into this 107 high up here. And this is the outlook as expected. Strength on the dollar. Let's see how it matches up with the other currencies. Once again, pound, we had a reversal. I did not have another deep pullback. Instead, we just collapsed lower. Now, with the continuation of the dollar strength, where next from here? Let's mark out our next level. Next level that we can see is here. Therefore, now that we've reached the first target, we can take that off. That has covered it. And now we have the next idea, the next level, the next area to work from. Now this has gone. This would be the next obvious idea in mind. And where do we have the invalidation? Well, the invalidation would be the last, I should say, obvious swing. And here it is, the high pokes out. If we breach this level, then the next one we look to as a possibility would be this high, this gap in the price from this high to this low. But so far, seen as we had this swing here, then let's see if this one holds for now. So there we are, pound dollar with the increasing strength of the dollar. Let's move on to the next one. We have dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, obviously bullish. We had bullishness all the way. Let's look on the lower time frame. Intra-week, we had this area marked out. It didn't quite reach into that, but the overall idea was there. We reached into the first target and the second target. And if we just zoom out, you can see that the ultimate target is up here. And now we've covered these, we can remove them. They're done. And where's the next level? Well, from this low to this high, let's look for a possible scenario, and a possible scenario would be a better price. Now we can move our invalidation point to this high, and then the next level that we can draw out would be like so. This one has now done its job. So the idea, if we get a drop, will be down here, with this being the invalidation. Such as the fact that we've got this ultimate high here, not too far away, I would not look for another kind of entry, because this is the last go before we head into there in terms of this time frame. So really want to see a better price. At the moment we are well extended in an expensive area, and therefore we do not buy at expensive prices, we buy at cheap prices. And I hope that that is clear, clean and clear. As always, this is what we do. Once again, drop a like in the video or put a comment if you have anything to say about that. Maybe you have your own setups. Okay, next one on the list is dollar yen. Again, bullishness. This is what was expected. Did get a little bit, there's a bit of confusion on this price action because it is in a range. We've invalidated it. And then what happened is after this invalidation, this hunt, market running lower, it has spiked higher. Now, what I was saying is that even though this was a low probability idea, the scenario was still the same as the others, which is a breakthrough once we reevaluated the price action and the candles broke through, retracing and as expected into this level and head off. And now we've broken right through that high. And the next high would be this ultimate high at 151.9 or 152. Let's remove these lines, no longer necessary. After we see this, what we can see as the next idea is this level, which had already retraced to, already traded into. We may be a little bit late on this occasion in terms of this video, but from here, I'm going to look towards next swing points. So that would be the scenario, and then the invalidation point would be this low here where we last retraced to and moved away from. So if we see the market moving through here, that will be an invalidation and we'll have to reassess afterwards. Okay, if this one didn't work out, then this may be one for you here. On this candle, we had the immediate retracement and we moved away. And if this is not one for you because we've not managed to see this in time to capitalize in it, then so be it. If we do get another drop, that will be another opportunity. And if we do head higher, this will be the outlook scenario. And we've got our line of invalidation. So let's just remove that. And that's the dollar yen. Let's move now to the Swiss yen, another bullish one. We did bounce off this significant level, 168. It's a brief pause there, marked out a zone, and this is actually where we are now in this bullish idea. The invalidation was at this low, and what we need now to really confirm it is a clearing of this high. So let's see if that happens. If we don't get that, the next scenario would be at this area. So we have a little bit of a market area over here, and then we'll have this low as a reference point. However, since we have not invalidated this low, then we are still looking at the high. So the break would be a great idea if we don't drop down, and that would look like this: break higher, pulling back to a better price and continuing. As always, the usual fare, the usual thing we look for. And if you look on the lower time frame, you can see a bit of a minor level here. And let's just drop down to the 1 hour. Here's that level. So we really want to see the market clear that nicely, sharply, quickly before considering an entry. And that will be the scenario. So that is the alternative. And we've got our next target points. So the next one is 169. And that is a significant figure, significant whole number. And we look to reach into that. Okay, euro pound. What do we see on euro pound? Well, expected bullishness. We did indeed have that. We have brief hesitation here. Tuesday, Wednesday, yesterday we had a move away. Here's that level we drew out. We're now back more or less at that level, heading higher. So this could be something of interest. We may go lower. We want to see another push higher. Something to head higher, indicate that we are moving higher. Wicks to the downside are great. A pin bar is great. And if we move through this level and close above it, that will be an indication too. So continuing on the bullishness, this is the next scenario. An invalidation point now becomes the obvious clean low down here. So that's the bullish scenario on pound. Now, what do we see on Euro New Zealand? Another bullish one. We have hit our target. We are here on the daily, moved into this zone. We have rejected off the zone, moved away from the zone. Therefore, with that pin bar, this was your idea as a reversal. So we can move all of that, remove all of this. The low now becomes this clear low. Okay, we have now broken as expected, and we wanted a pullback and a continuation, which is just what we are having. Here's a level. You can see a bit of a minor level here. So this is now actually playing out, broken, coming back, retracing, and can hopefully, if it plays out, continue higher. If it doesn't, then we've got our invalidation point here. And as ever, make your own decisions and your own risk management. Take your risk management into account. That is number one. We've got our next points marked out. That is simple enough to see. There we are. That is the Euro New Zealand bullishness. We have made a higher high here. And this was the reversal point for the week. At least it looks that way for now. You never know. Could take it out again. And now we're looking to head back into the next highs. I mean, that's really rinse and repeat over here. If you haven't been with me, that is the plan. Rinse and repeat. Okay, let's go to the S&P 500. What did we look at? Well, we looked at a better price, which did not happen, allowing the market to do its thing. We're not always going to get it right. We're not always going to have the market doing what we want it to do. It will just do what it wants to do. And in this case, we had a brief retracement and then falling down, falling lower, lower and lower. We have now hit the first target. So now that we've hit the first target, we've got our second target below. We're now going to reevaluate, and as we reevaluate, we can see a bit of a level over here. And what does this level indicate? Let's go down the time frame. We've got our area that we're interested in. Therefore, we can say that for now, unless we see otherwise, the last swing becomes invalidation, and then we have the area as our reference point, and continuing down into the next levels. So let's see if we get that. We have our point of reference, we have our invalidation. This is no longer necessary unless we invalidate this high. And this would be the idea. Heading lower, do want to see a more expensive price. Now that we've had this swing, this becomes a reference high, reference low, and the expensive price is above the halfway mark of the swing. At least for now. I don't know. It may go lower still. Who knows, right? For the moment, if we see what we've got in front of us, there's a gap, a little bit of a gap. Really want to see a better price, and then we will go from there. So again, rinsing and repeating the same process over and over, getting a better price, getting a pullback before considering a scenario to engage with the market. And if this doesn't match with what you're looking at, then perhaps it just doesn't. These are just helpful educational videos to show you what is possible and what I'm looking at from my eyes. So that's just one person's eyes. It doesn't mean to say that you may necessarily trade this, that you may necessarily engage. It depends how you do things. So I'm helping you out with some ideas here. And finally, we have Aussie New Zealand. This is what we looked at. Aussie New Zealand, clear bullishness, and as you can see, it just ripped away without us. I mean, yeah, it happens just like the S&P is rip-roaring away. You can't catch them all, and we shall wait and see what happens next. At the moment, reaching its target, and still going to stick with this, seen as the price action has not said anything to the contrary. And what does that mean? Well, as long as we wait for a retracement, we get that better price, we have our invalidation point, and then continue higher. Once we reach this high, okay, great, reach the high, no problem. We still wait for our next setup. If it doesn't happen this week, look on the weekly, then we will reconsider and look at next week, at the start of next week, as always on Sunday. Depending on how the week closes, then we will make our decision. Still today and tomorrow to go, so never know if we have a drop in the market, a sudden drop. The market can do anything really, especially in this climate, in this uncertain economic, political, war-like climate. So bear that in mind in your trades. It could affect many markets. Okay, for now, this is what we've got. Hopefully that helps, and we are back here to the dollar. Regardless, now the dollar is strong, and that is the preference seen as we are so clearly bullish on the dollar. That's why I focused most of this week and last week on the dollar. This is what we can see in the market, and then we will adjust to it. And so far, this is where we are, breaking new highs, making new highs. We've got our invalidation low, and bit by bit, piece by piece, as we step into the next part with the price action telling us where the market intends to go, we adapt, and then we make our decisions from there. Hopefully that video was helpful to you guys, and have a good rest of your trading week. I will see you on Sunday with more setups. Bear in mind, we still have more news to go today as you're watching this video, or maybe just after, and on Friday. And I shall see you on next week's plan. Okay, bye for now, guys.